Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of Mount Holly Town Council for January 14th, 2014. Could we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Belton.
Here.
Mr. Brown.
Here.
Mr. DeFalco.
Here.
Mr. Jones.
Can everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. The verification notice.
This meeting is being held in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Laws, 1975, and certification is on file in the office of the Township Clerk. Advance written notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, was mailed to the Roanoke County Times and Courier Post, and was mailed to all persons who requested and paid for such notice.
Okay, first up on our agenda is communications, and we have a monthly report for the Environmental Advisory Committee. Do you want to come up and give that report?
This is actually through the end of December. Brian Knox from the Eco Goats came actually out to Mount Holly on December 9th to visit, look at the site up at the mount. To determine what kind of fencing he needs to bring within the topography of the ground. And the visit went well, and we definitely come into budget as what he originally predicted, and we're gearing up to have the goats come in May. I don't have an exact date yet, but I said, he has to put it into his schedule because he has some other jobs also in the area. I also contacted Delaware Spray Service, which is right out of Painsboro, so it's local, and they gave me a cost estimate what it would cover, what it would be to do the follow-up herbicide spraying. And again, I think we had budgeted about $2,000 for that treatment, and his quote came in with actually less than that if you only need one spray. If you need a follow-up spray, it would be a little bit additional, $2,500 total, but I have been able to find some trees and other shrubs that will be less than what I originally budgeted for, so there's enough give in the budget to be able to handle that if you do need two sprays instead of just one. And he will guarantee that his work that he does afterwards, that it would actually completely fill the audience. And we prepared a tree list and put an order to the New Jersey Tree Forest Nursery. The PO for that has been fully cut, so I'll be able to order trees from there shortly. About 1,000 trees, which there are trees that we'll put into small pots that will probably live in my backyard over this summer. People are planting. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work out, but because it's going to like over $400 for like 1,100 trees, so it was like really dirt cheap. And then with the additional small pots, it still comes out to about $1 a tree, which is a real bargain. And then as far as the urban forestry inventory grant, we did have our first, actually, it wasn't on the written part, but we did have our first training actually last week, January 7th, which we basically talked about what kind of data we're going to collect and what we're going to be using it for. So it was a pretty good brainstorming session, our first training with our certified tree expert, Kevin Scalvino. And we also had met with Mr. Berry and Chief Martin about the GIS inventory capabilities that the project that we are proposing to use the ArcGIS system. And I know Luke Wolfram has been reaching out to somebody in the township trying to get a computer ordered for us that will be housed here at the township building that will have the programming on that. And one of the other PSO issue is actually to buy the actual ArcGIS software with online access that you can do on your mobile phones to do the inventory. And we talked to also to TNJ Garner students about projects with the state of New Jersey. We're actually going to be meeting with the principal at Falwell January 22nd to talk about a stormwater management water program that we're going to bring in a program from Fernbrook Educational Program, Educational Center, where they have like it's like kind of a puppet show kind of thing that they put on for the kids, and they explain about stormwater management and conflict resolution. It's kind of a fun program, and we're going to have some interactive stations that they can go around and have hands-on activities on the subject. Hopefully do like a couple-hour program at the school. And the watershed ambassador is going to be coordinating that program with the TCNJ Bonner students, and also the environmental club at RB is also interested in helping out on that program that we'll be doing at the school, probably sometime in April during Earth Week. And we also did schedule a day in April 26th, where we'll have TCNJ students in town, 20 to 30, for a community engaged learning day. We haven't exactly decided what we'll be doing with the day. They might help plant the trees that I brought in town, or some other programming, or go out to not maybe mark out the area on the map that we're going to be doing. We'll have a couple of different activities for them at that day. But we have the students that day. They'll come in and help us out on any of the sustainable literacy action items. And as I said, we've been having a pretty good communication with the environmental club at RB this year, which I think is going to be a very good collaborative effort. Finally, we have the advisor there is very excited about doing things with us, and someone about trying to get us to help them with some of their environmental issues at the high school, so especially with the recycling effort, because they recently did a full recycling audit of the whole school and how ways they can improve recycling at the school itself. And that's all.
Okay, Randy, real quick, is there any update on the storm protection grants that we're talking about?
I don't have any other updates. I know I gave that information to you, but that's a huge grant effort. I know that you have now contract with someone who's looking at grants for grant writers, so I thought that would be something that they would probably look at to see if that's something we can apply for, because it's a little bit beyond my $20,000 grant writing skills, I think, at this point, to try to get, because I can't even get like $1 million or whatever. So if you can get that to do some work at Woolman's, I think that would be great. But you would have to kind of gear it for to fit under that those parameters that they have on there. But I mean, I think it does fit. It's just a matter of whether or not the grant writers have a little bit more expertise, and I do think that they can wordsmith in such a way that can be applicable to apply. But it has to do at the end of this month, I believe.
All right. Well, we'll talk about the ballot before I forget. This may be a note just to Eric, but did we find out, we had some concerns about runoff, and I can imagine with all the rain that we've had and everything with the snow melting, that there were supposed to be, we were finding out whether or not we could put in stop gaps.
This is the mount, right?
On the mound.
Yeah.
So,
Not completed that.
if we could just follow up on that. Thanks, Rita.
All right, I have two more pieces of communications here. One, if everyone has not read in the papers already, former mayor and Councilman Richard Dow has effectively, as of 7 p.m. this evening, resigned from his position here of town council. From the staff that's here and from the council, wish him the best of luck and a quick recovery for whatever medical concern that he has right now. Next order of business is, I have a statement here that I put together as it is pertaining to leaves and snow removal and things of nature. So if anyone has concerns, I'm going to read it right now. As a resident of Mount Holly, you're no stranger to the fact that we have been muddled in our leaf collection this year. Without the risk of sounding like we are making excuses, it seems like each time we went to start up the collection vehicles, we faced a new set of challenges. We came into the collection season down a vehicle. While we originally thought we could fix the leaf collection truck that was damaged last year, it would have ended up costing more than replacing it. The leaves within the township did not end up falling when we originally scheduled our leaf collection schedule to begin. No one could predict the way Mother Nature will work. We've had equipment failure, equipment breakdown, and driver challenges. We're working on getting all of Public Works employees licensed with proper class endorsements so all employees can drive all pieces of equipment. We have even discussed bringing in more employees for Public Works for situations like brush cleanup, leaf collections, and snow removal. Please understand, too, that there are times that situations arise within the community where our Public Works Department get pooled to do other things, and leaf collection and brush cleanup becomes second priority. They will, however, still get done. We should be back on track shortly now that the snow and ice has melted. We are currently working out a shared services agreement with a neighboring community to help get us back to where we need to be. The assistance from the neighboring town will not be at any additional cost to the residents. Thank you for your patience during this time. Okay. Does anyone else have any communications? Eric or Vicky or George? Anything? All right, next we have the approval of minutes. This is the January 1st, 2014 reorganization minutes. Dwayne or Lou, any comments?
I just have a couple of corrections there, minor. In resolution 2014-7, appointing a conflict public defender.
You abstained.
I abstained. It doesn't show that. It shows 0 abstentions. And then also on nominations of the planning board members, alternate number 3, it has Mr. Belton appointed, Mr. Adler. I think that should be nominated. And that was it. Just those 2 minor corrections.
All right, do I have a action on the approval of minutes with the corrections Mr. Dalton pointed out?
I'll approve them. Make a motion to approve them.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Can you second it too?
Yes, I'll second it.
All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Belton?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. DeFalco?
Yes. Okay, next order of business, we have an ordinance on first reading. Ordinance number 2014-01. This is an ordinance amending and supplementing portions of Chapter 265, Vehicles and Traffic, of the Code of the Township of Mount Holly. This ordinance bans parking on Jacksonville Road and Ridgeway Street during the hours of 7 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. on school days. Does anyone have any questions regarding the introduction of this ordinance?
I have, I've got one, and I'm not sure, maybe I'm not reading this properly, or maybe, George, you could help me. 265-54 says prohibited parking at all times, and it says no person shall park a vehicle at any time. And then we're talking, we're talking, I'm assuming, about the same 2 areas in this resolution, is that correct?
No. No, I don't believe so.
All right, so,
It's no part, they're describing a corner extending 215 feet north on the northbound side of Jacksonville Road.
okay, it is,
Police, I prepared, this was recommended by the police. We prepared it and they approved it. It's a specific section of that street which is described. The
so
other
is
section-
this the area, the 250 feet north, is this in front of the entrance to the gymnasium? Is that, does anybody know where this area is?
I think it's I'm not sure if it's the gym, I believe so.
Okay, from northwest corner of Jacksonville Road and Ridgeway, which is, Ridgeway comes out, and then northwest would be towards Willay Road, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about from there, 250 feet. I don't know how far that goes, but it says north of the exit driveway, so we're talking about from the corner to 215 feet past the driveway, which would be in front of the gymnasium.
Correct.
It's probably right where the entrance and exit way is for Falwell. probably where it stops.
I believe that's,
Well, no, the driveway for the entrance and exit from Falwell just starts there.
To the end.
So when you come down the driveway of the high school, Falwell is straight ahead. So they're saying 215 feet northwest of that, and I'm assuming that's in front of the gymnasium
215 feet north to the exit driveway.
to the exit. So that's in front of the gymnasium. So no parking, which they already have. I mean, there's no parking there now. I mean, so that's why I was a little confused. There's no parking there now allowed.
There is.
There is?
They park there now, yeah.
It wasn't in the ordinance, so
Yeah.
my associate prepared it, but I'm pretty sure it was.
They're trying to get people not to park there. They're probably trying to make it official now.
The letter.
Yeah,
Okay.
You have a copy of the letter?
from the
Clerk
police.
has the letter from the police.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we need a letter or a map. Well, I guess we can pass the first ordinance and then we gotta open it up to public. And by that time, I guess we'll get
I
a
can
map
double check
highlighted.
it. I'll triple check it, but I'm pretty confident that this is exactly what the police had recommended in conjunction with their discussions with the school.
Okay. And then the second part of this, Jacksonville Road extended 200 feet west. So from,
It's on Ridgeway Street from Jacksonville coming back into town, that's my understanding.
Probably that L.
Yeah,
in front of the high school.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And I thought there was no parking there now, but okay. That's no stopping or standing.
Yeah.
So that includes no parking plus no stopping or standing.
Yes.
Okay.
It's from 7 to 4:30. That's a different hours.
Right. The other one is no time at all.
Right.
And this one, okay. All right. Just, we'll have to see if they can, highlight it on a map or something before the next reading. That was it.
Anything, Lou?
No?
All right, do we have an action on the first reading of this ordinance?
I'll make a motion to approve 2014-01.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Have roll call, please.
Mr. Belton?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. DeFalco?
Yes. Okay, next section of matters to be presented by public. Please state your name and address for the record. No participant may speak more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on the topic have been heard. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer and not to individual council members. If any member of the public has a matter to be presented that pertains to housing and/or police matters, please see one of the officers on staff right now. Just to note, I know that we have an updated statement that we had last week.
But the agenda guide used on that.
All right, at this point, I'm going to open up to the public. For those of you who have a question for council or a statement like to make, please kindly, just raise your hand and we'll go ahead and ask you to come forward, and you can please state your name and address for the record, and we will do our best to answer your questions or comments. So, does anyone have any questions, comments, or statements? Lewis?
My name is Louis Oka from Holly Garden. I thank Mayor Richard DeFalco for electing me to the Environment Advisory Committee, and that's really appreciated.
You're welcome.
And I want to appreciate for at the reorder meeting that had been going on, I was forced out in out of public session. It was rude and dissenting me for freedom of speech. And I recorded videos. And I still got them of them. Use soil name, that's what I did not have. And for the open seat for the council, are you going to put that to the federal election to let the people vote for the fifth member? Are you gonna do that?
We're still looking into the proper procedure now that we have a form of government change. So as of this time, it's yet to be determined on how we're going to fill that seat with the procedure that's in place right now.
I think that all being, recording this, that's the proper procedure. Let the people, vote you in. Not by council people. Just put through the vote. I do this fair election for the fire commission.
Well,
You should have, like additional.
Are you talking about our seat or?
No, just the extra seat.
Okay, just so you know, the seat that's now unexpired would be in an election for this coming November. If we were to put someone in a November election and they won, they would be seated November and December for 2 months and then be expired on the 31st of December.
And my second question is, which procedure do Mr. Romani got elected?
I'm sorry?
Mr. Romani. He said he got elected to some procedure? On the reorg meeting, then I ain't heard his name.
No. You might be speaking of the auditor, which is not related to James Malley in Collingwood. It's a different individual.
And can you also tell me the funding for the Morristown and the RCA funding? Can you give me that question? The balance?
I'm sorry, what's
The RCA funding for Morristown and Mount Holly?
Are you asking for the balance?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that is. You can reach out to Eric and probably get a report from Josh in regards to the RCA balance.
Like I said, I'm disappointed how the media will put the reorg meeting. A lot of people cried after me. I had 2 newspaper editor call me, ask me questions. And I was to Eric, fix a resolution. I'm not having bad rap for, taking slow people and then taking out of room. Before the slow to speak. Thank you.
Tim?
Tim Young, 158 North Street. I have a question on resolution 2014-23. That's the resolution to go into executive session. I do not see a copy of that resolution in the agenda, so I was wondering what the specific exemption was for that meeting.
This resolution 2014-23 will be removed from the consent agenda as there was no executive today. Yeah. You're welcome. Randy? Sorry, Holly, I saw you. It's kind of like Price is Right. You got to push your button faster. Sorry.
Randy Butler, from Union Street. I was just wondering, I know that you made a number of appointments at the reorganization meeting, which I just focused on really well, so I didn't make it. But I know there's other ones that haven't been made yet. I mean, in particular, I know there's at least one particular person who has the resume for the environmental committee who's been working really hard, and I was just wondering if you're going to be making additional appointments anytime soon. And it was also my understanding that the Historic Commission didn't meet because they don't have a full commission, and then it so happened that at our meeting, someone actually came thinking that they were up for to be heard before the Historic Commission on the windows, and I guess the meeting was just canceled. So I was just wondering if that's good.
No, let me address the different appointments and things that we have here in the township. So as far as environmental advisory, I know all the boards and commissions that we have in the township, we're always actively looking for resumes for qualified individuals to sit and volunteer for the township. as it pertains to specifically environmental. We know that there are seats that are available, so please instruct your friend to submit their resume.
He has submitted, been on there.
He has.
For a while.
Okay, just-
A number of times.
Which person was that?
Luke Wolfram.
Okay.
And he's actually, and even though he's not officially been appointed, he's the one who's been.
He's always there, yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's always there, and he's the one who's put together the app for our tree inventory, the mobile, and, put together the specs that we're going to need required for the computer. So he's been at all of our meetings, and even though he's not officially on the board, he's been.
Do you currently have recommendations that you would like to give us right now to sit on the environmental?
That's one of them, because he, obviously, and I think I recently, I did send back over, because I had his resume, and I know he had submitted it, and I resubmitted it over to Vicki that they had, that the township had it, so that was one particular one that I was, he's already working, but unofficially working, so that, that's one for everything off the top of my head right now.
Okay, does Dwayne or do you have any objections taking the recommendations of Randy after working with Luke over the past years, putting him on that board? None? None? Okay. We're going to go ahead. There's another appointment that we need to address this evening, and we're going to add the appointment to the Environmental Committee towards the end to do that. But as in regards to other boards and committees, and specifically to the historic, you're absolutely right. There's a little bit of confusion of the organization of that body. And there was no quorum on that.
There's two people that came thinking that there was a meeting and they wanted to get, when.
We're currently working to resolve that situation right now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Holly?
Holly Doyle, 8 Washington Street. I did not know at the reorganization meeting that there was a list sent around of the appointments that were going to be made, and I didn't see land use board on that. But I had applied for that, and I'm still interested in being considered for that. Do I need to do something to make sure my name is still?
I would just resubmit your resume, attention to the clerk with the title planning board, interest in planning board, etc.
Okay.
On there, and that will guarantee that it is put on the desk for consideration.
Okay. Are there positions for the planning board that are calling off in February?
There's nothing off until June, and there are seats that will be expired in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing is, on behalf of Main Street Mount Holly and the Fire and Ice Committee, I would like to invite council and everyone to come to Fire and Ice. It's going to be on Saturday, January 25th. There's some changes that we're having to make to the fire portion, but we will still be having chili, and it'll be made by restaurants that are in Burlington County area.
Now, Holly, I was talking to Rose earlier, and I didn't know specifically, because I was talking to Steve in regard to the chili portion of it.
Right.
Are they going to be staging that over at the college in the patio area?
We are not able to use the college.
Not?
We are
Okay.
still, that is still in the works.
Okay.
Because I think that they're gonna see if the firehouse is available, or if there's another location that might work. They're expecting about 12 to 14 restaurants participating, so we need sort of a large space. But BCC said we could not have it there. So, we are still working on that.
Did they give you a reason why you couldn't have it outside? Or did they just say no?
There was, there's kind of a, you might want to talk with Audrey about that.
All right.
Because I know that she and Steve both have been working on that, because that is something that needs to be resolved.
Okay.
But prior to the event, we will have a schedule and a map available so that everyone will know where all the activities are taking place. There's been a little bit of transformation this year, but the ice portion is going to be all down High Street and down into North Village. And we will still have chili. We've already apologized to many of the amateurs but we're not able to do that because of the Burlington County Board of Health, which I can understand their reasons for it, but we need to just make some adjustments.
Okay.
So it's a really fun event for the whole family, so I hope that all the citizens come. If anybody is interested in volunteering, please let us know, because there's plenty of small jobs that we could use some help with. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard. Does anybody else have any questions or comments to come up and talk to us about? Yes, come on up.
Hi, it's David Mal, 25 Pine Street. Gentlemen,
How you doing, sir?
I'm here to discuss a problem on my business on High Street, though. The tree out in front of my building, it's never been trimmed in 25 years, and it's like crazy out of control. It's ruining my roof. It's a mess. And I'm wondering if, it can be cut down. Would be great. Or at least trimmed. Something could be done about it. It's a nightmare. It's planted right on top of my sewer drain. I'm like $900 in the hole for augering my sewer drain out like 3 times now. So, something's got to be done about the tree.
And we can send DPW out there, take a look at it, see if we can trim it. And Randy, if you can just take a peek and make sure it's a,
What location?
Barber shop.
That's in front of my...
yeah.
25 Pine Street.
It's 41 High Street.
Yes.
That's his address, that's where he lives. The address for the record of your business, please, Don.
41 High Street.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm sorry.
You don't sound good.
No, it's the other.
Yeah, we didn't even hear it. Dave, we'll make sure we take a look at it and we will get back to you.
I told you didn't hear it. Thanks, George. We'll continue to throw each other.
Come on up.
We'll love it.
Been a long time. Question, is there any money?
Just state your,
Yeah, thanks. Other money at all in the UEZ for anything? Is anything being done with UEZ funds?
no, there's funds in there,
I
yes.
asked, twice I've been to council meetings in a while, and I asked Josh to email me what kind of money's available for anything, and I never got anything from it. Talked to-
Is there something specific as far as,
Was it like painting, facades?
I know that we're looking at restructuring our grants this year, put new programs out there. I don't know the details on it, and Josh isn't here to be able to
I
explain
asked
that.
him probably like 9 months ago, and 6 months ago, and they sent me something, and he's like, is it what we're using, what we can use the money on, if anything? Because if there's no money in first anything, then I thought the UEZ was supposed to help small businesses or any business. Seems like there's, I've had work done on my part, I've spent my money, and they matched it.
Why don't we do this?
For the last couple of years.
How about I give you a call? We have a UEZ meeting coming up. If you can attend that meeting, we can go ahead and try to answer as many questions as you have there. And you'll have everyone in the room there that will be able to answer you. Because I don't have all the answers for you right here.
Is there like a breakdown of what we're sponsoring with the UEZ, like what we're doing?
I don't have it with me.
But there is.
I'm sure there is, yeah.
So we know what, because if it's not a priority of certain things, then there's no sense even wasting time asking. Because it seemed like it's changed since, I had my building painted. I did the parking lots and did some other stuff over the years, but for the last 4 or 5 years, it seems like there's never anything for anything according to the UEZ. Just a question. Okay, so you're going to call me with a date?
Absolutely. I'll shoot you an email. I'll follow up with a phone call with a date of the next meeting. And if you can attend, typically at 4 o'clock, if you're available in the afternoon at 4 o'clock. Anybody else have any comments or questions? Going once, twice, too late. Okay, closing the public portion of the meeting. Thank you for everyone who came up and gave the comments. We'll take everything that you said under consideration. That being said, we're on to our consent agenda. In regards to the consent agenda, we will be removing resolution 2014-23 on the agenda as no executive session took place today. Does anyone on council have any questions or concerns with the consent agenda as is currently listed, minus resolution 2014-23?
No, I don't.
Well, I don't know. I'm just reading the resolution one more time to see if it needs any more clarification. And this is 1436. Mr. Barry and I had a conversation about it earlier today, but we got cut off. Okay. No, it has the information I needed.
Here are no other comments or questions. Do I have a motion, motion action on the consent agenda?
I make a motion to have a consent agenda.
Not approved? Yes?
Second.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Boughton?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. DeFalco?
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that.
Next order of business is the treasurer's report for November 2013.
That was part of the consent.
That doesn't have an asterisk next to it, so it wasn't included in the consent agenda. There's no,
Was that, I saw two of them. Was there a third one in here?
I only have 2013, November.
There was another one. It's listed under Treasurer's Report 2013 in the consent agenda. Right here. Treasurer's Report
You got me.
2013.
You got me.
All right.
Okay. We can disregard that. Okay, so as stated earlier, when Randy was up, she made a recommendation for an appointment to an environmental advisory board. If it's the will of the council, can I have a motion to add to the agenda an appointment to the Mount Holly Environmental Advisory Committee?
I'll make a motion to add to the Environmental Advisory Committee.
Do you have a second for that?
I'll second.
And based on her recommendation, Randy, can you please, for the record, come up and just state and spell the individual's full name for the record, so we have it on. I don't have the resume in front of me.
His name is Luke, L-U-K-E, Wolfram, W-O-L-F-R-A-M.
Okay. All right, Ricky, if you can go through those resumes and make sure that matches up.
Just let me know, I can resend it over.
Thank you.
I know we've seen it for planning board as well. I know you submitted for planning board and something else, so I know it's there.
Okay.
With the recommendation being said, do I have a motion to put Luke?
I'll make a motion to appoint Luke Wolfram to the Environmental Advisory Committee.
I'll second it.
Have a roll call, please.
Mr. Boughton?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. DeFalco?
Yes. Please take note and send notification to Luke that he's been appointed to the Environmental Advisory Committee, and provide the next date of the next meeting. Okay, next order of business, I had also stated that there's going to be another appointment tonight. I would like to ask council to open up nominations for a upcoming vacant position for the MUA come February. That is our duty to appoint someone prior to the expiration. I would like to open it up, have a discussion, and then if there's anyone who's available, make that appointment.
I'm really not prepared for this.
If you guys aren't prepared, we can go ahead and postpone this for the next meeting.
Yeah, I would rather do
Is
that.
that okay?
Well, I mean, I got a name or two, but I mean, it's up to you guys. I mean, I've got a name I think that would be well qualified. I don't know if it's a conflict of interest though. So maybe we better.
Well, let's go ahead and postpone that, and we can go. If you can, Dwayne, just have the recommendations forward to everyone. Just ask Ricky and she'll forward them over, this way we're not talking to each other by email. And then we should probably schedule a meeting just to review those applications. That being said, next order of business is the matters to be reported by the manager. Eric, do you have any information you want to discuss tonight?
I have one item that it's not in your packet, and it was the policy for the video and taping. Because of sickness, it was not completed. I'm asking for a little more time, and the solicitor and I will be on top of that, but that was the main thrust this time. Thank you.
George, any information tonight?
And just add to that, I had a family death, and I didn't get to finish reviewing that issue for Mr. Berry for the policy on the videotaping to ensure, most importantly, public access, but also to ensure that there's no security breaches as a result of issues that have been raised with regard to that. But I'll review that so that we can consider a policy on whether or not it just is a manager's order or whether it's adopted in ordinance. I'll be completing that.
Okay. Next, we have matters to be presented by the council. Lou, do you have any information?
No, I have
Nothing? Dwayne?
Just, Eric, I guess, so you don't have to look it up on Monday for Lewis. I thought looking through our packet that there was information about the Morristown RCA that he was asking about. And as of December 31st, the Morristown RCA account has $314,304.04. So that's the balance as of December 31st. So we don't have to go hunting around for that tomorrow.
Thanks,
That
Frank.
was in our community development report this month. I think we all have gotten in our email, I think from Mr. Pipes and the folks at...
No, they came in today, an invitation.
Yeah, the Martin Luther King celebration events at the Second Baptist Church start at 8 o'clock on the 20th, next Monday, a week from today. And if the public can join that. And I know there's a schedule of things that go on throughout the day, but the first starts with a breakfast in the morning. But I'm sure there's information out there, so if you folks want to think about that, we won't have another meeting between now and then. So if you want to think about that day as a day of service and find some way that we can do something in the community that would be respectful. Other than that, I have nothing else. Thanks for coming out tonight.
All right. Thanks, Dwayne. So I'm not sure if you've all noticed, but we now have iPads all up here. We have two more, one for Jason Jones and one that's not been provisioned yet for whoever the fifth person's going to be on the council. What these iPads do for us, they're essentially managed by the township. They allow us to electronically distribute our packets in a secure method to cut down paper use, deliveries by the officers to their homes. I think it's a waste. This gives us instantaneous, so our email is on here. When the clerk adds a new piece to the agenda, we will get alerts. It'll make sounds. It'll say agenda updated. They're on the cellular network, so no matter where you are, you don't need to find a Wi-Fi signal. The thing will always work, whether you're in Spain, Italy, New Jersey, anywhere. So at this point, all council members will be updated with their communications with the township administration at all times, which is essential for us to do our business. And then to circle back with what Eric and what George says in regards to videotaping, as you can see, we have our camera set up. It is actually recording today. The wire that you see going from the camera to the back over here is actually plugged in directly to our microphone system. This way, the video which is picked up on the digital camera will also pick up the clear audio that the mics pick up for our Oprah audio machine. I know sometimes it's been told that our voices are not projecting completely out into the audience and the speakers are not loud enough sometimes for you to hear up here, depending on when the AC is on, etc. So that will be a good video to be able to listen to for those who were unable to attend our public meeting starting today moving forward. Once they are finished recording, they will be sent over via a digital format and they will be uploaded to the website. for use in conjunction with the meeting minutes of the council meeting. So for those of you who, again, don't want to look at the paper version, you can watch the online version like a DVR and get the full expressions of people's faces as opposed to looking at the audio. So it's a good thing to have. We were looking to do it before with RBTV, but there are some stipulations with getting sign off of people being recorded to go onto the cable channel. Just so everyone knows, when you do come to a public meeting, you do subject yourself to audio and video recording as it is an open public meeting. But that being said, a TV station or a camera that comes in here needs to get your sign off to be put on the air, so to speak. And there was some trouble getting those releases figured out. But with that being said, we look forward to your continued attendance. Ask your neighbors to come out, and we appreciate your feedback. And we'll take, like I said earlier, everything that you've said and commented on under consideration to help, for the betterment of this township. So with that being said, I'd like to see if there's a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
This meeting is now over. Please drive safely. Thanks for coming out. And any questions, please direct them to the administration to reach out to us. Thank you.